Welcome.
There are lots of you here. My goodness me, it's 10 o'clock in the morning. You know, there must be some sort of America's Test Kitchen thing going on, is there?
Yeah, they came this way because we have a unique opportunity. Welcome, Captain. We're so happy that you could join us for this.
Thank you. Yeah, I took a major break in my watching Morning Joe or Fox and Friends. Sorry. I'll give them 5 minutes each.
Either or, of course. Kind of just an intro to how you got into this.
Sure. Well, this is kind of normal now because we do this every cruise. But yeah, well, the thing is that at 10 years of age, or this is what my mother tells me, is that at 10 years of age I walked into the kitchen when she was preparing dinner and declared I was going to be the captain of a cruise ship. I think that's fake news. That's an alternate fact. Because for me, it just kind of came on in the middle of teenager that I just wanted to go to sea. I initially signed up with the Naval Reserve back at home and did a little bit of time there in the military type thing, and then I went into the National Maritime College of Ireland. I'm from Ireland, which is a small island off the west coast of Holland. Okay. So I went to the National Maritime College of Ireland and I did a cadetship on oil tankers there. And after 4 years of that cadetship, I graduated. Yeah, that was '96 when I graduated, and then I did a couple of years on oil tankers. And what happened was in '98 we had a thing where I was on a ship called the Eagle, and the Eagle was gassing up. It was taking on fuel. It's not just gassing up like you do. We were at a place called St. Eustatius, which is just south of St. Martin. It's a Dutch island, and they have a large area there that you can take on fuel. And we had a small little ship come alongside and gave us fuel. But that ship was about to take part in a journey that was going to be about 9,000 miles. And those ships can do that. They can do long journeys, and so but it takes a long time to fuel. So it took about a day and a half, and we were sitting at anchor. It was a beautiful, quiet evening, and at the time I was the only Irish guy and a bunch of British officers. And so the way it kind of goes in that regard is when you have a load of Brits and one Irish guy, the Brits take all their frustration and anger out on Paddy, and so that's how it went. And so the captain, the chief engineer, would come up and every evening would abuse me for about an hour or so. Oh no, there's no it's okay. It's character building. And then I'd get my daily dose of abuse from the two lads, and then they'd leave. But after the daily dose of abuse, I was sitting on the bridge wing at the extremity of the bridge on the tanker. It was outside. It was a beautiful evening. I think it was April of '98, and I was looking and I saw the Royal Princess go by, and I said, "Wow, that's cool." And the chief engineer said, "I'm going to bleep out the bad words." Okay, he said, "What the bleep you looking at, you bleeping Irishman?" I said, "I'm looking at my next ship." He goes, "Haha, you're never going to leave this company. You're going to bleeping blink. You're going to be bleeping 50. You're bleeping Irish." The bleeps are, you know, it's good that I'm trying to censor it here. But and I said, "Okay, well, fair enough, mate. Bleep you." And so I went home a few weeks after that, actually a few months after that, and then I resigned from that company. I then went to, mentioned those guys in my letter of resignation, because revenge always comes late. And then I put the resume out there, and most notably the cruise ship companies. And I was getting answers back from a few of them, but the timing wasn't quite correct. And I got a call from an agency representing Holland America Line, wondering if I'd like to join their newest vessel, the MS Veendam.
Wow.
Yeah. So I said, "Yeah, why not? Let's do it." And I flew to New York, and I joined the Veendam in Manhattan next to the USS Intrepid, and yeah, I walked on the bridge and I saw the lovely teak deck, and I thought, this is cool, this is very, very good. Until 2017, I was contracted to P&O Australia and brought the Pacific area into the Australian itinerary, and they showed them how to work the ship and stuff. And then I was only on loan from Holland America Line. So in 2017, I came back to the Veendam, and that's it. That's the story.
Nice little
You're
roundup.
lucky, it's only been a few minutes.
And it's only been a few.
My favorite itinerary is Polynesia. I love the fact that you can travel from Hawaii, actually even north of Hawaii. You can travel from Hawaii, you go down through like the Marquesas and those areas, you end up in New Zealand. I go to Tahiti and those places, and you end up in New Zealand, and it's the same culture, the same history, the same mythology, the same craft. Not just that, but the history is amazing, and I really kind of identify with it insofar as they were using the Pacific Ocean as a highway when our Western European ancestors were kind of fuddling around the Atlantic Ocean and making huge strides in discovering, you know, South America, when the Polynesians were going from Hawaii to New Zealand and making absolutely no deal of it whatsoever. I loved their welcoming culture. I loved their the kind of the lightheartedness of how they do things, but at the same time, what they did for like navigation, I truly identify with and I appreciate. And so that's my favorite itinerary is Polynesia and Alaska.